Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Many of my constituents continue to struggle accessing broadband internet. The age and standard of much of the infrastructure that broadband services my electorate are limited, even if they are available. My father helped build the Miller Telephone Exchange in the 1960s. It is that very same exchange that still services the area today and has been at capacity for some years. The simple reason is that upgrades were deferred pending the eventual rollout of the national broadband network. Consequently, the response of many of my constituents when requesting a connection is that it is full, and for some years they have not been willing to invest money needed for the upgrade. One of my constituents, Dr Nilofer Ali, is a local physician who has a practice based in Casula. She actually lives in Middleton Grange, also in the electorate of Werriwa, and is unable to access internet connection at her residence that would allow her to complete important work remotely and phone into international medical professional conferences from home. While only living a few blocks from a street that does have access to the NBN, she has to drive to her surgery to access the internet. This is also the case for her daughter, who is currently studying at Sydney University. She struggles to do research and often worries about achieving deadlines for the online submissions because the internet is simply down. Dr Ali is by no means the only constituent that has contacted me since July. Chris Petru contacted me this week. He can't access even basic ADSL and as a result is paying up to $90 a month for a less reliable mobile broadband connection. It is understandable then why he feels at a distinct disadvantage when it comes to joining the connected world. Many people don't have the luxury of high-speed internet at their workplace, and participating in education, employment and so many other important facets of modern life is a real struggle as a result. There are many cases like this, and it is no wonder that many residents of South West Sydney are feeling left like second-class citizens waiting for the broadband rollout that is being deferred again and again. Technology now plays a central role in education. A good quality internet is essential to many young families. Many couples have moved to the southwest of Sydney, attracted by more affordable housing and the excellent and committed teachers in our local public schools. Last week I was fortunate enough to attend Casula Public School to recognise Daisy Millpark, a student from my electorate, who was selected as the upper primary runner-up in the Dorothea Mackellar Poetry Awards this year. These awards have been running for 32 years. This year there were 11,766 poems submitted by school children all over the country. The award was started in 1983 with just 300 entries. Daisy's poem is extremely moving and demonstrates extraordinary talent and wisdom. It's about Daisy's grandmother and expresses perfectly the emotions she feels and the love she has for her grandmother. As I read Daisy's poem, I could readily imagine the circumstances she wrote about. The language and form she uses is highly emotive, and the poem has a fantastic lyrical beauty. It opens, "Hands like prunes that grasp you tightly, a beaming smile whenever she sees you. Old as the earth, old as the temple of Delphi, and sometimes Dotty, singing my song all day long. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, do. I hold her tight and search her eyes." This is great literature, and it is what poetry is all about. Daisy's recognition by receiving a Dorothea Mackellar Poetry Award is hugely prestigious achievement for her school teachers, her parents, but especially Daisy herself. And it was really wonderful to meet Daisy and her parents. Her classmate Vicky Sue was also received a commendation in this award. The talents of these students was fostered and supported by their teacher, Michael Davis, whose outstanding efforts were recently recognised at the 2016 Ultimo Principals Network Awards. I congratulate Daisy, Vicky, the entire Casula Public School community and their principal, Robin Evans, for the wonderful work that they do with our children.